All right, we continue our playoff video preview-esque type videos today with the Carolina Hurricanes, who have had a very eventful season, to say the least. There has been a lot that has happened this year with the Hurricanes, and a lot of it we're going to get into here in this video. And I really do think that this team went from a team where we thought they were going to take a little bit of a step backwards. They would still make the playoffs, but it felt like a different year here in Carolina, to a team where I can realistically see them going on a run, to be honest with you. So they clinched the playoff spot last week, and they went 46, 26, and 4 for 96 points. They are eighth in the NHL with a .632 points percentage. They have scored 247 goals and have allowed 207 for a plus 40 difference. They are 38-1 at home, and they are 16, 18, and 3 on the road. So this is a very solid Hurricane. Lost a lot of pieces on that core. They lost Pesci, they lost Brady Shea, they lost Jay Gensel up front. They lost a few other guys up front there as well that I think definitely costed them. And we thought they would still be a good team, but this was a year where we felt like it was going to be a step backwards, at least a little bit, in my opinion. And it really hasn't been that. They've kind of just picked up where they left off, to be honest. They are still a very good team. With the Eastern Conference being how it is and how wide open it is, I think they really can go on a run, and I truly do believe that. So let's just hop into the guys who are leading this team right now in scoring, because I think they have done a remarkable job. Mainly Sebastian Aho, who is right up there with all the other players in the NHL. He has played 775 games, has 28 goals, 42 assists for 70 points this season. So Aho has definitely been, again, very talented. We know what he can be. We know how he can be an elite player, and that's what he is. And, in previous years, he wasn't a guy who was known for leading a team fully. It seems like this year he really is leading this team in an insane charge in points. Like, it is unreal, the distance he has between him and the second spot, and even him in the third spot. Him in the third spot is a pretty large distance there as well. So he is kind of carrying this team right now in terms of offense. He has 28 goals. He leads the team in assists. He leads the team in points. I think that shows up for a very good season so far by Aho. And let's see what the playoffs bring. I think, again, they're probably going to play New Jersey in the playoffs this year. I'm not entirely too sure how that series will go, but I am favoring Carolina. That I know for sure. Seth Jarvis, second in scoring, 69 games played, 30 goals, 31 assists for 61 points. Obviously, Jarvis leads in goals. He's actually had a phenomenal year in terms of scoring, and is somebody who is still, even now, very under the radar. Now, he has missed some games this year. If he doesn't miss those games, I think there's a good chance he's up there with Aho at a point-per-game pace, but at least as of right now, just is slightly below his point-per-game pace this year. So I think he's been a very solid player and a great player, and is incredibly talented. And he showed it in the playoffs, and I think that is all there with him. Third in scoring, Andrei Svechnikov. 66 games played, 19 goals, 26 assists for 45 points. I do have my worries about Svechnikov. It does seem like he's kind of declining a little bit, it feels like, but he has missed some games in there. Good 20-goal scorer. He's been somebody who's connected pretty well here for Carolina this year. But again, I do have my worries. It does kind of feel like he's declining a slight little bit. Just, I don't know. It just feels really weird to me there with him. But again, still very talented. There's no doubt he is still a very talented player in this league. Shane Gostisbehere is actually fourth in scoring. Yeah, when you trade away Marty Necas and you trade away Rantanen, you're, in terms of scoring, it's like not as good as it was. So Gostisbehere, 67 games played, 7 goals, 37 assists for 44 points. I will say this, like, in terms of offense and being on that power play, Gostisbehere's been a pretty good ad. You look at how he's been there on that second unit most of the time with the Canes. I think that's been a huge acquisition. And they have two guys like that in Gostisbehere and Walker, where they can come on in that blue line and play and put your points. I think that Gostisbehere has shown that he can do that, and it's just been phenomenal how he's been able to perform this year. And, the streams we've commentated, seeing him on the power play, he's been really freaking good with Carolina. So Gostisbehere got to give a lot of credit there. Taylor Hall. Hall was a mid-season acquisition involved in the Mikko Rantanen three-way trade, but Taylor Hall this year, 72 games played, 17 goals, 22 assists for 39 points. We did hear they are working on an extension with him. I don't think he signed an extension. I might be wrong. I don't think he has. But again, a lot of things happen every day. I forget a lot. I think Hall has had a really good year in terms of offense. And I think, again, like he's improved as it's going on with Carolina getting adjusted to Rod Brindamore's system. So I think really there for Hall, he's had a pretty damn good year with Carolina/Chicago. Jack Roslovic is sixth in scoring, and Roslovic is another interesting name. 75 games played, 21 goals, 16 assists for 37 points. Roslovic, in years prior, remember him with Winnipeg, never really panned out. Columbus didn't really work out for him either. He comes here to Carolina. I think he's been a good fit on that third or fourth line. Again, he also did get a Rolex from Mikko Rantanen, so you got to take the W's where you can get them. But yeah, 20 goal scorer. They have a couple of guys like that on this team. I think that proves to be huge, especially in terms of, your depth. You want your depth pieces to be putting up goals for you, and Roslovic's been doing that with the Carolina Hurricanes. Next up, Logan Stankoven. Logan Stankoven, 72 games played, 12 goals, 23 assists for 35 points. Still an underrated rookie in terms of the scoring race. I think, again, like, people kind of look at Michkov and Hudson and Wolf and kind of forget about Stankoven in that mix there. I think he could have definitely had a better year. I think, playing limited minutes in Dallas definitely kind of affected that. But, getting him on Carolina, he's been a good ad since he's come here. So I'm really excited for what he's going to bring in the future years. Because, again, people forget it's his rookie year. It's his rookie season that is just phenomenal. So honestly, I've been such a big fan of Stankoven this year. And then Jordan Martinook, the final guy in scoring that I have listed, 76 games played, 13 goals, 21 assists for 34 points. Martinook, again, he's always been there. He's been there in Carolina for what feels like forever. He's a very effective third, fourth line guy, and I think that he's always been that type of player, and I think that Carolina still keeping him around has proved to be a good ad, honestly. So yeah, Martinook, give a lot of credit there where it's due. And then you look at the goaltenders. The goaltenders, I think, has been one of Carolina's biggest strengths. You look at both goalies in a tandem this year, even though they did struggle a little bit without Anderson. They have still had some very good goalies come in there and net and play solid for them. It also does help that their blue line is also pretty damn good. Pyotr Kochetkov, 26, 14, and 3 with a 2.57 and a .899 this season with Carolina. I think he has been pretty solid. Again, his numbers are a little bit below average in terms of save percentage and goals against, but I still think he's a very good goaltender. Again, you get put behind a really good Carolina defense, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to, have a good... I mean, I shouldn't say it'd be difficult, but there's a better chance of you having worse stats because you're behind a better blue line and you don't face as much shots. So I think that's a bigger thing there with Kochetkov. But Frederik Andersen has been somebody who has been really phenomenal this year for me. 13, 6-0 with a 2.11 and a .914. What really sucks with Andersen is that he just has injury problems. That's the biggest thing. It's his health that keeps him out of the lineup and keeps him out of that starting position. But when he is in there and when he is playing with the Hurricanes, he is just phenomenal. And it just sucks because the injuries really kind of do beat him up and kind of underrate him a little bit. So it really does stink there. But Anderson's still a phenomenal goaltender for sure. Now, in terms of the broad perspective of this team, again, I just said that when you looked at them at the beginning of the year, they were in a bit of a different situation. They were in a situation where we were like, maybe they make it. But to be honest, nobody was really holding their breath on it. We all just kind of thought like this is going to be a year where they kind of take a little bit of a step back and start retooling better for the future because you have younger guys who are coming up in the system and such. But overall, I think they still can go on a pretty big run. I am a little bit concerned, though, about the scoring. But I think they can be okay. Just the offense, it definitely needs to get a little bit better. They have been able to score recently, but in terms of like top end guys, they don't really have that besides Aho and Jarvis. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking out of my butt there. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on the Carolina Hurricanes this season. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video down below. And please do consider subscribing and join the community that we're building here on this channel. We got to watch with Nordic tonight, a doubleheader at that between Tampa and the Rangers and Calgary and the Sharks. But anyways, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.